So let me fill you guys in on the situation right now. So I'm currently about 242 miles away from Los Angeles, California, which equates to about 3 hours worth of driving. So this is the home stretch for me. 3 hours at this point is basically just a regular commute. That's just light work to me. So I'm gonna get out to LA, and then once I get to LA, I'll have to figure everything else out because I don't really understand the parking situation out there. I don't really have a good grasp on that. I have this app called iOverlander, which enables me to see spots that other people have stayed at and reviewed and everything like that. But it seems like it's kind of spotty. I don't think that with this type of lifestyle, if I'm going to be living in an actual city like LA, I can just stay in one spot, which is fine because the whole point of me doing this is so that I can be transient and just kind of live nomadically. But I'll definitely have to start exploring and finding different spots, seeing where overnight parking is allowed, so on and so forth. And LA seems like a particularly tricky city, which is kind of mind-boggling to me given how many homeless people live out there. It kind of blows my mind that it would be easier to find overnight parking in Dallas than Los Angeles. But either way, we're going to LA. And I say we because you guys are coming with me. Bro, I'm not even in LA County yet, and the traffic is already treacherous. You hate to see it, but this is part of the package, man. This is part of what LA is, even though this isn't even LA. I think this is Riverside County, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't even know what it's gonna be like in LA, but you guys can see the palm trees and everything. Literally 48 hours ago, I was still in my apartment in Allen, Texas, and now I'm over here in California, 62 miles away from my destination, which honestly I forgot where I'm even going. I just know I'm going somewhere in LA, or maybe Culver City or one of those places like that. But going out to LA, gonna catch a vibe. It's raining right now, but the rain is supposed to clear up later on today, so I might be able to catch me a good sunset. I need to film another video for this Friday. By the time you guys are watching this, that video is probably already out. It's called How to Glow Up in 2023 or something to that effect. And yeah, man, I'm just out here catching a vibe. I know I always say this in my vlogs and it's very hypocritical of me, but do not record while you drive. Don't do what I'm doing. This is a terrible idea. I'm only doing this because this is pretty much my life now. Driving, writing, making videos. But if you're not accustomed to doing this, don't do it. Don't do what I'm doing. There have been many times in the past when I have almost lost my life prematurely trying to do what I'm doing right now. The only difference is that I'm built different. And now I know what I'm doing. And I know how to record without actually looking at the camera. But I feel like I'm obligated to make that disclaimer because there's that one person who just got their driver's license, who just started a YouTube channel, who's gonna try and do the same thing that I'm doing. And I'm here to tell you, don't do that. Do not do that. If you do that, I will personally track your IP address. I will drive to you, and I'll smash your windows.
That's how I was taught. 3 niggas in one room. First time I was tossed, and I'm exhausted. But fuck that, sorry for your lost shit. Security guard for a month, and ended up leaving. I got fired 'cause I was
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Home sweet home. Love to see it. Alright, so last night was my very first night actually stealth camping in a real urban environment. You guys won't be able to see out of the window because it's all fogged up. But I stayed in this parking lot in Long Beach, California, which is a much more urban area, and didn't get a knock, didn't get a ticket, so stealth camping did work. These window covers were probably one of the best investments I've ever made in my entire life. Last night I also put up the curtains. Let me go ahead and show you guys what the curtains look like, just so that you guys can get a good sense of how secure I actually am in this car. This is what it looks like from the inside. You can only imagine what it looks like from the outside. The other side of the curtains are blacked out, so you cannot see in here. you can't see in here, bro. You can't see in here, and I can't really see out, so it blocks a lot of the light in the parking lot. But there's enough light coming in so that I know when the sun comes up, so I can get the fuck up and go on about my day. But yeah, man, I slept like an absolute baby last night. I did go ahead and crack the sunroof because it doesn't get that cold out here. It's maybe in the 40s, and that sleeping bag is definitely built for that type of weather. So I slept like a baby, breathing that good oxygen. Okay, you love to see it. But today is the move-in day for my storage unit, meaning that I can go to my storage unit and put some of this stuff in there. Today, or I guess last night, was the hardest night because I had the most stuff and I had to stealth camp with the most stuff, which makes it much more difficult. Once I get this stuff out of here, I am home free. And that's when I'm gonna show you guys a full-on car tour. I'm gonna show you guys my sleeping setup, my food setup, everything. But I need to go ahead and get into this gym, and I need to pee, I need to wash my face, I need to brush my teeth because that morning breath is kicking right now. Alright, so before I go to the storage unit and get my car situated, I want to take some time to explain why I decided to come to LA of all places. Now, if you're new to my channel, one thing that you'll learn about me over time is that I am very big. I'm a very big proponent of following your intuition, following that gut feeling. So bearing that in mind, that's really all the explanation I should have to give. However, I want to further elaborate on just how many signs and synchronicities I've received from the universe as far as making this move to Los Angeles, California. Now, here's the thing. Okay, if you read my book, Ego Death, there's a poem in there called California. You can read that poem for yourself and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I wrote that poem in April 2020. This was a long time ago. It's an old poem. One of the first poems I wrote, actually. And I wrote it because at the time, I remember I used to drive west every single day. I would follow the sunset every day. And every day I'd go a little bit further. And I remember there were times where I would put in my GPS, Los Angeles. But I never had the courage to actually follow through and make that drive, take that leap of faith. But now I do. Now I have the courage because I know that I'm being divinely supported. Now, I want to share with you a dream that I had about LA. And this right here was probably the biggest confirmation that I've received. Granted, I've had plenty of dreams about LA, okay? I'm talking about dozens of dreams in the past couple of years. But I had this one dream in particular that really stuck with me. This was probably a couple of months ago. But basically, in the dream, I had been driving. Okay, so I knew that I drove there in the dream. I drove to LA. And I came between these two hills. And I couldn't see around the hill at first, but once I got far enough around the hill, I saw the downtown LA skyline, and it was glowing. It was glowing gold. It's like there was this golden aura around the skyline, and I just had this intuitive sense in the dream that I needed to go there, that I had reached my destination. I reached the place that I was supposed to get to, or at the very least, it was within my reach. And that dream really stuck with me. Now, fast forward to the day that I actually got here, yesterday, and I'll try to put the shot. I don't know if I got the shot the way that I think I did because I wasn't looking at the camera, I was focused on the road. But I got this shot that almost perfectly resembled that same exact image that I saw in my dream. That same exact viewpoint, that perspective with the skyline in the distance. And it completely blew my mind because I had never actually driven down that street before. So in other words, I basically had a prophetic dream about a street that I hadn't even been on before, or a highway I hadn't even been on before. Blew my mind completely. And that right there was the confirmation that I needed. Now, ever since I've gotten here, things have been going pretty well for me, I must say. I've received unexpected abundance, unexpected monetary abundance in particular, things like that. I have a lot more inspiration, a lot more motivation to work on content, to write poems, to do everything that I need to do to continue to progress in my life and to create and inspire, to be in alignment with my divine purpose. And I don't know why LA is my, I guess, spiritual home, if you will, at least at this point in my life. I don't know why. I don't have a rational explanation. It's kind of like when you fall in love with a woman, you could talk about all of the different qualities that she has, but the love transcends all of those qualities. Love is transcendental. And in the same way, intuition is transcendental, because intuition and love come from the same place. They come from the same divine infinite source. And I just know that this is where I need to be. I know that this is where I need to be. I need to be out here in the LA area, at least for the foreseeable future. I don't know if this will be a permanent thing. I'm sure that at some point or another, I'll probably receive divine inspiration to go somewhere else. But right now, LA is the move for me. And also this morning, I was reading from this book called A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle, I don't know how to say his name. But I was reading from his book, and coincidentally, or I'd rather say synchronistically, he mentioned in the book that he felt compelled to go to the west coast of North America as well. Granted, I think he went to Vancouver or somewhere like that, but he said that when he went to the west coast, when he followed his intuition in the way that he did, to go from England to the west coast of the US or of North America, he ended up writing The Power of Now, which is his best-selling book to this day. And also, he said that he was living off of his savings and he ran out of money, and then he bought a lottery ticket and he won the lottery. And that's just a perfect example of how you will be divinely supported when you take those leaps of faith. I feel like I am being divinely supported. I feel like I have plot armor. It's just insane to me, man. It's insane how when you choose to walk in this path, when you surrender your need to control your reality and you just follow the path that has been set forth for you, you'll be divinely supported. And that is a big part of my purpose, I believe, is to show you guys, as well as tell you guys, that it is possible for all of us, because we are all of the same essence. We all come from that same place where love and intuition comes from. And if you follow those two feelings, you can go anywhere in this life. I am the proof. And if you choose to follow your intuition, if you choose to walk your own path, you'll be the proof as well.